Hi, Mason Marsh here. Today I want to talk about a really handy application that I use quite a bit called the Photographer's Ephemeris. Don't ask me what that means. Anyway, a story for you. I wanted to shoot the supermoon that happened last August 11th. That was in 2014. And I had missed the supermoon that happened previously in 2014. And I really wanted to get a good shot of the moon. And so I went to the Photographer's Ephemeris because I knew when this supermoon was going to happen. And the supermoon, by the way, is just a really apparently big full moon. So I wanted to catch this supermoon, and I originally intended to shoot it as a moonrise. But the lineup of the moonrise near my house wasn't going to work for any of the subject matter that I wanted to use. I'd have to drive quite a ways to get it lined up with anything kind of cool and groovy. And so I decided to instead get up early the next morning and go shoot the moon set. And so I went to Photographer's Ephemeris, which used to be a desktop application. If you join me over here on my screen, you'll see now that it is a web application, and you can get to it by going to app, that's app.photoephemeris.com. Now, ephemeris is spelled, as you can see on the screen, E-P-H-E-M-E-R-I-S. So when you type that in, you're going to come to this free web app, which when it launches is going to give you several different options for how to do this. And I've got it set up here for the location that I used for my moon setting shoot. But you'll see here across the top that you have a way to choose the date. And so I've put in Monday, August 11th, 2014 over here. And then over on the right-hand side, you can search by place name and address. You can also set yourself up with an account so that you can save locations and do all kinds of different things. Because this is a web-based app, if you wanted to use this in the field, you'd have to have a web browser and all that. And so they've actually made it much easier. They have mobile versions of the application. And if you look over here on the right-hand side, you'll see that you can get the app from the App Store or from Google Play if you're using an Android device. They also have a great ebook on understanding light and a way to donate to them. And then right down here is a new app that they've got that's pretty cool called Photo Transit. And this is a planning application, much like TPE, except it takes into account which lenses you're going to be using and helps you plan your landscape shoots, which I find very, very helpful if I'm going to be visiting a place I'm unfamiliar with. So back to the story. I knew that I wanted to get up and shoot the sunrise, and near my house we have this beautiful suspension bridge called the St. John's Bridge. And my hope was that I'd be able to catch the moon as it was descending with one of the towers of the suspension bridge. And so I went into Photographer's Ephemeris, and you'll notice that there's this cool map, and you can switch between a map view and a satellite view. I prefer the satellite view, of course. And you can zoom in and out, and you can drag the map around, and you can go to a specific location by typing it into the box up here, or you can just drag the map to wherever you want it to be. And then there's a little pin, a little red push pin that you can grab and move around. And wherever you set the pin down, you're going to notice these rays protruding out from the pin. And each of these represent a direction or vector for a sunrise, sunset, moonrise, or moonset. So if you look down here at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see that each of these events has a time associated with it, which is helpful to know if you're going to get up early. You want to make sure you're up early enough, or I guess you could say not too early. So for sunrise, it's the lighter yellow line. Sunset is the orange line. A moonrise is the light bluish gray line, and then moonset is the dark blue line. Now, for me, what I wanted to know was, is the moonset going to be close enough to sunrise that I'm going to have some detail and stuff in the bridge? And if so, is the moon going to be low enough to get the shot? So using this, I was able to see that sunrise is actually going to happen at 6:06 and moonset was at 7:25. But I wanted to shoot the moon before it reached the horizon. And in my case, the horizon is actually going to be a little sooner, because if you look here on the satellite photo, this whole big band of trees over here is a ridge line that's behind the bridge. It's called Forest Park. Here in Portland, it's a big, beautiful wilderness area. The the bridge kind of backs up against it, and so it's a beautiful backdrop, but that hill would be blocking the moon as it came down to set. So I knew that the 7:25 moonset time wasn't going to be accurate because it's going to hit the hill before then. So I knew that it would, my ray is pointed this direction. I'm actually going to be just a little bit swinging a little bit to the left or counterclockwise. So if you zoom in on here, zoom on in, you will see using the satellite view that you can actually scout shooting locations on the ground. For instance, you might find, the ray lined up just where you want it, but your pin is on top of a building or in the river or private property. In this case, I knew this area pretty well, and that this turnaround, this end of the street has a little traffic turnaround, that I'd be able to park right there. And so I dropped a pin right there, and it put the ray right across the middle of the bridge, which is perfect. I knew that if I shot the moonrise, I'd want the moon to be big in my image. And so I was going to use a long lens, a telephoto lens, in this case, my 70-200 2.8 with an extender on it. And that shooting the nearer tower of the bridge was going to be too close. The tower was too close to me. I wanted to shoot the far tower. And I was hoping that I'd get the moon right above it. And it showed me here on TPE that, sure enough, the moon was going to swing over that direction as it set. And as it was descending towards the top of the hill, it would pass right over or through the uprights of this bridge. And this is the cool tower that I'm talking about. So I got my timing down, got my angles down, figured out my location, and went down there early that morning. And here's a couple of the shots I got. The main shot that I wanted was this one here on the right, where the moon is right between the uprights of the tower. And I actually was able to get that rather easily. And then I also got, by just shifting my position a little bit, was able to reposition and put the moon up on top of one of the spires as it moved over towards its set location. So it was not hard once I got down there. I didn't have to run around like a crazy man trying to find the right location. I just went right out, set my tripod up right where I set the pin in the Ephemeris, and lo and behold, through the marvels of science, I was in the right spot. So this is the best way to put luck on your side, is to do proper planning if you're going to be doing any type of celestial event, landscape photography, especially shooting the supermoon, which only happens every now and then. You want to make sure you get to the right place and get the right subject matter. So there you go. Hope that helps. That is a quick look at the photographer's ephemeris. Remember, you can use it as a web app, or you can download it onto your mobile device. I use it on my iPhone all the time when I'm out on workshops and out in the field, just trying to judge where the sunset's going to be or the sunrise is going to be, and where I want to put myself to catch the best subject matter in relation to that sunrise or sunset event. So hope this helps. Hope you have a great time out there. Be safe, and check back in for more videos later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.